All right. So this is a 1v1 between Andre, who's the best player in Romania, and a player I'm not familiar with because it's a second account. And if you're thinking, wow, that's pretty rare. We don't see second accounts at all. No, that's very common at high level. So it says this account is from the UK. I don't think it would be Hallis. Hallis is the best UK player. It's possible it is, shoot, what's his name? It's Dragonstar, Happy Leaves? How would this be Dragonstar? I'd be surprised it's Dragonstar. But anyways, I'll talk about some of the UK players if you're curious. We have Vietnamese for Red. He's 2K, Andre's 2K, and if you're 2K, you're looking at top 150, I think. That's top 150 of accounts. It might be more like top 200 of accounts. I'd say, sadly, something like 20 to 35% of accounts are just repeated accounts of players who are already in that ranking. So you're pretty high up there if you're this elo. So Vietnamese against Magyars. I think this is a really fun matchup, right? Because you're going to have Vietnamese with the potential to lame if you want to play that way. Or just knowing where the enemy TC is a very nice bonus. Your eco upgrades are discounted, so that also goes a long way for you. So Vietnamese probably the better eco civ, but then Magyars they're a very power spiky civilization because they get extra attack they get all the melee attack upgrades for free in each age. So cheap scouts, you have the attack, you have mobility, which Vietnamese very much do not. So Vietnamese need to get ahead, control the game, and one thing you can do is, well, two, I guess, is Rush and then Man-at-Arms. Hey, by the way, not that this is not allowed in other streams, but feel free to ask away with questions during these casts for the next couple hours, because when I'm casting tournaments, I can't focus on chatting to you guys as much. Whatever it may be, this is going to be a mix of casting and chat. But I think random Civ rated games present us good opportunities to discuss things we would never have the opportunity to talk about going forward. What the?
Thanks for all the great content.
What the?
Happy New Year.
What the? Oh my god! I have so many questions. Okay, so first off, that villager is building the house diagonally through two trees. But second, why? Like, I'm not sure what's more surprising. The fact that you can build a house through the two trees, or the fact that he actually chose to do that. What? I mean, that is an area that would be awkward if ranged units stood in there, or any units got in there. So I suppose it blocks it off a little bit, but that is so weird.
T90, do you own a slow cooker?
Do I own a slow cooker? I have what's called an Instapot. I don't know if that's a slow cooker. Probably not. Walls already for Andre. Andre may be expecting a bit of a drush, wants to be secure when it arrives. I think that's fair. I think full walling is heavy investment, but getting some walls up is always nice. And Andre lost most of the HP on this scout. He's lucky to get away. So he cannot scout and see what Red is up to. It's a romantic cabin in the woods. Oh, it is. It's so cute. How has general gameplay changed in DE compared to HD? So this is kind of a tough question for me to answer because most high-level players didn't even play on HD prior to DE. And I think that gets lost. A lot of people forget that that's the case. Whoa, wait a second. Italoaura Moss BR is in chat. That's the low elo legend. What's up, my friend? He's the guy who walled in his entire island. And also, I uploaded him to YouTube yesterday. Or the day before. But yeah, to get back to answering the question. The HD is different than Voobly. Voobly had overall better performance, but I suppose most was the same. I think that gameplay is a lot cleaner nowadays.
21 years, let's go. T90 Pog.
And I think gameplay is a lot cleaner because of the quality of life improvements. So it's so much easier for you to use your APM effectively to have clean eco than it was in the past. So that would be the big takeaway. Also, because everyone's much better now than a few years ago, and every year gameplay just improves and improves and improves, the game is also much more punishing now than ever at the highest level. Also, there's more bugs we have to deal with. But yeah, here comes Red making the militia, and this is a man-at-arms play. And Red choosing to push in the ostrich. On the other side, we have Andre. Andre's going for scouts. I kind of like how both have played it so far. There's a few small things that I wouldn't have done myself, like these houses here. It's really weird to me. I would have just built 2 houses and some palisades on this side already. We'll find out. Gene Maxwell, hey, it has been a while. Just read your message. Yeah, welcome back. Have you seen that person called Sick Nerd is streaming? Yeah, I didn't know much about... Wait a second. I think he might have had a YouTube channel that I heard of. Yeah, I did notice that he's been streaming Age recently, which is cool to see. It's always cool to see people who do variety streaming or just are big content creators outside of the Age community streaming Age of Empires. I think it's quite cool. I know there's been Winter from the StarCraft scenes was playing Age for a bit. It was cool to see him streaming. We had, back in the day, Day 9 played for a little bit. So, I think the bigger the game is, the more streamers are tempted to break out of their communities and stream other games, because they might feel like they'll get more viewers from that community, so. Whereas, when there wasn't big viewership from the Age streamers, I don't think people would have been as inclined to try it out. But yeah, it comes down to what you're interested in, how you feel about various things, so. It's not always about viewership. You have to find a balance there. So 4 man-at-arms. Wow, 4 man-at-arms. And Andre, with the good early walls, was able to keep himself protected on the left. Walled here just in time. And overall, as long as he takes his palisade... Uh-oh. This is so tilting. It's so frustrating when that happens. And nice! Quick walls. Yeah, run this way and quick wall these villagers. Sick job. But sadly, that was avoidable. As he loses a villager... That was all avoidable, and look at the idle time that this will cause. You got villagers here idle, villagers here idle, villagers here idle. But 5 or 6 villagers not collecting resources just because they got through there. Oh, and another villager will go down. What's fascinating about Red, though, is that he's playing completely open. He's not trying to wall up behind this at all, which is kind of uncommon at the high level. This is something I'm going to challenge myself to do. I might this year, if you guys would be interested, have a day or 2 a week where I actually stream my 1v1 grinds. And set some goals and whatnot on improvement there. But anyways, one thing that I feel I need to test out a bit. Everyone walls real early, just like Andre. And walling is important and it's necessary. Everyone has to do it. However, the timing of the walls... do affect your eco. And so I want to play a bit more open throughout mid-feudal instead of walling before I arrive to feudal, as a lot of people do at the 2K1 level, just to see how it goes. I'm actually going to give a shout out to Hart here. Hart is a really good player from Peru. And Hart has been grinding DE the last couple months. And he was always running into people who were walling and whatnot, right? So he would be more the aggressive player up against the walls. And I think if you are aggressive first, wall later, you can go a bit further. So anyways, it's just something that you're seeing right now. Like, Andre wasn't able to get the full walls up. Andre's constantly been reacting. And now Red is going to probably get some walling done at home. It's interesting. Also, is everyone just really intent on what I have to say right now, or is my chat frozen? Or neither? I just want to make sure that my chat isn't completely frozen. What? Wait, am I still here? I see one person in chat. Did I go offline? The only thing I saw was Winston's Waffle say something. I'm gonna pull up. I'm so confused. Hold on, I have to pull up my chat on my phone. It's not showing up on screen. I feel so alone right now. I can't load my channel on my phone. What's happening? Ah! Unable to load content. Test. Okay, I just typed into my own Twitch chat. And when I typed into my Twitch chat, it does not show up on screen. My guess is that Twitch is having the same issue they had yesterday. Let me check Discord and see if you're hearing me. Could you say something in my Discord? Twitch chat server seems to be down, but you're still live. See Discord. Come on, man. Read your mods' messages. That's from Dux. All right. I got a lot of messages. Thank you. So you guys, I'm still live. We're still good. Okay. Well, let's talk. Since you guys can't actually ask me questions, I'm going to just guess what questions you would ask. So let's see. T90 Twitch chat. Hey, T90, what's it like building 3 archer ranges on an island all the time? Hey, T90. That's all I've got. You guys are more creative than that, but that's all I've got. So, red added scouts. I assume, I don't know. I'll check my phone from time to time to get an update from Dux. Dux, can you say something to me? Oh, God. Okay, Dux got my message. To the people who are PMing me on Discord to ask your questions there, can you not? Thank you. Someone just DM'd me and said, shoot, I lost it already because there's so many other ones. Yeah, all right. Hopefully we'll be back. At least you guys can still watch the stream. Let's check the eco. 500 gold. 10 on gold. Yeah, this is too much on gold for red. You need 4 on gold per archer range. He's on 1 archer range. And he has 10 on gold. So yeah, he's going to buy food, I guess. But that's not the best eco balance ever. Andre's dropped the tower on the gold, but is behind with the gold count needed to go up. This has been far from perfect for both players. But I think we'll see some food and wood sold, and Andre will click up. And I'm curious now if Andre wants to stick with skirmishers in the next stage or what. This is so weird, man. See, when I record YouTube videos, I go into that knowing I'm going to be talking to people who will eventually listen and watch. But now people are watching live, and it has a completely different feel. Ema has clicked up, but behind Andre. And I would like to see a second archer range in this position. Because you have a lot on gold anyways. So going into the second range, 2 range crossbow, 1 stable knights is very strong. It's actually mixing in some more scouts. So that's probably to catch any forward skirmishers, but that's not the intention from Andre. So it's a bit risky to add the scouts. There's a second range. I like it. Still very weird to me how we don't have a full wall situation. I suppose it's really hard to, but even this, I feel like that's doable. And Andre shows up, or not Andre, sorry, Red shows up with the scouts. And sees the skirms are there. Oh, and the skirms don't even have fletching. Yeah, if the skirms don't have fletching, that will tell you that you won't see elite skirm, and it will be just knights. And 3 stable knights as well from Andre. This is why you want to have more crossbow numbers. This is why having the second range earlier would be better. Because if he spent those resources and he had 5 to 10 more crossbows, he'd be looking at 25, 30 crossbows against knights. It'd be really sick. This is what I foresee happening, though. I think that Red's going to go for Vil snipes on the wood line. And it all comes down to how much time Red's able to buy with this. Because +2 knights in mass will wreck this army. So it might be the case of Red killing villagers. Oh, and look at Andre. Andre's placed palisades here for vision. See that? Not a bug, it's a feature, remember. But yeah, anyways, if the Vils go down, Andre will still probably have the army advantage if he can engage against this. And good awareness there. And with, I think 6 knights, you easily clear that. Meanwhile, you have Red adding a university, so that will be for ballistics and a TC. You know what's funny? I don't know who this is, but whoever this player is, the profile says they're from the UK. And the way they're playing this right now, very much reminds me of Hallis.
Donation chat still works. I am chat now.
Other mod donated $5 and says donation chat still works. I am chat now. Yes! I felt so alone. Thank you. It's nice to know there's someone out there. That's funny. Thank you, random person, for the $5 donation. Do subs still work? I promise I'm not trying to sell out here. Last sub I saw was 10 minutes ago, and that was before the problem. So thank you, JP, for the prime. Knights are really looking for these crossbows. I think this was this comes back to lack of numbers for Red. So I think it was a mistake for him to move out without the numbers. And he's going to try his best to get back home right now. Oh, boy. See, he was hoping to build another house behind here. Backs away. Still has more crossbowmen here. Sits in a decent choke. There's 8 knights, and Andre will choose to run away. 3 stables, but the crossbow's still in mass. Now you have 23. I like the addition of the knight from Red. Red will gain the eco lead now because it's been 2 town centers. The knight addition's great to take out any siege. And we probably will see the siege soon. Yep, there it is. Still really ballsy to move out, though, against Magyar Knights. I guess he's not expecting it to be 3 stable commitment. Andre going in. Magyars with the full attack. And this should be amazing. If only Andre had the skirmishers helping. Every little bit would help. At Red, you didn't need to move out. You have the eco lead. You need to mass more. I think also a few monks would be very helpful. You have 2 or 3 monks there. And then that fight looks much better. But how to throw your army away 101. He's an aggressive player. I appreciate that. But knights are so strong. Especially now that the melee pathing has been updated. What the? Monastery farm. Archer range farm. If it sits, I fit. Isn't that right? Cat. Cat's right here. Just taking a nap. I could just show the cat this entire time. And oh, we've actually... The view count updates. So we've lost 170 viewers due to the bug, or the game I'm casting, or the quality of the casting. Well, thanks, guys. Well, those people missed the fact that this house is being attacked right now. Knowing Twitch chat, that's about accurate, though. There's always a couple hundred people who are in chat for the chat, or on a stream for the chat, not just watching. 3 TCs now. This is a fun one because I still think it's manageable for Red. But Andre... Pretty soon, he'll want to add the second TC, and he'll just want to continue with Knights and Mangonels. You can be behind 10, 20 villagers if you have this many Knights and a few Mangonels, so. Very awkward spot for Red to be in to hold. His own Knights need to take out the siege, and then he needs to use the little crossbows he has to take out the Knights. I'm gonna check my Discord again. Duck says, I'll let you know if it changes. I think that was a few minutes ago. Is this site-wide? It might actually be a bad idea to try and go to another stream, because it might not allow you to load up this stream again if you need to. Okay, Duck says still dead. I mean, so people are still here. Okay, all other streams are struggling as well. Interesting. Twitch will probably tweet something about this. Let's see. Big pressure from Andre. Still keeping the siege alive. I think a ram is more than worth it here since there's no defensive siege from Red yet. Maybe the ram is too late. Let's see. Twitch. Well, my buddy Weldon just tweeted F for chat. F in chat for Twitch. Alright. So I guess he's figured it out. Mangonel sniping a monk there. Another conversion for Red, and he's simply trying to use the knights he converts against the siege. Oh, and it works out so well, too. He could do this, guys. Look at the Vil count. 72 versus 59. This is an amazing game. This is really good stuff. Because now with 28, 30 crossbows and a bunch of weak knights, with good micro, and if you're not overly aggressive, you can do an okay job in Red's position. And I still think he's pushing out a little bit too much for my liking. And big engagement from Andre. But the crossbows have a choke point. Yes, some crossbowmen will go down, but the knights do need to back away because of the choke. What a great game. Now, only 15 on food, but I love the amount... Well, it's actually a bit extreme, but I love how villagers are on stone right now for Red. I just realized Red's woodline situation is... It's awful. 0 back woodlines to go to, and he's overchopped on this side, so he really needs to take this. That's something that Andre could maybe try and do something about. I think Andre is making the wrong decision right now. Over the last 5 minutes... He could have raided here. He could have raided here. He could be using his mobility. But he's been taking the fights where Red wants him to take the fights. And if you think about the alternative choice, if he raids and Red then pushes out, you have Siege Workshop here and here. So there's no way Red can comfortably move in between siege shops like that. So I think if you make your Mangonels in the Siege Workshops and raid with those knights and keep Red on the back foot, it would have been the better play. But I'm really impressed with how Red's been able to get his way out of this position. And he might just drop a castle. Oh, right there. That's a good castle to place. It's not on the hill because the Siege Workshop's there. But if it goes up, it protects the golds and also denies this one from blue. There's one Mangonel in there. Andre needs to fire and delete. And, oof, good shot. Deleting it. It eliminates the disadvantage when you're firing up the hill. But the castle will go up. 87 villagers for 78. But where are the knights? The knights could be here and everywhere. Where are the knights at? It's just too late to realize that raiding could do something for him. Andre. And now, you're kind of forced into the spot where you can't engage by the castle. This group is getting to such a number that you'll be in big problems if he ever engages at your base. But raiding can still do something. If you just take out the TC. Hey, take out the TC. Maybe that's not the right choice, but run around as much as possible. I'm liking this game, though. I'm going to get a Ducks update. We'll call it a Ducks date. Actually, that's not... I'm not taking Ducks out on any dates. Sorry, Ducks. Still F. Okay. I just want to make sure that I'm live. That's the only thing. I've accepted that Twitch chat isn't going to work for now until Twitch fixes something. I just want to make sure that I'm still live and running. What if you show up from YouTube today? Hey, can't wait to interact with everybody on Twitch. I'm new here, guys. Imp should be coming in at some... Whoa, that's crazy. Red actually just queuing up Vills. And amazing micro. Amazing micro. But yeah, he's queuing up Vills out of 4 TCs. He's just very far away from him as he drops another castle. 50 military versus 30. And that castle goes up. Then the crossbows and Mangonels can sit here. Yeah, Andre's going to lose so much. But Andre's imping. Andre did also find this gold down here, which might save him. Could take the back wood line, could take the stone. Well, the extra attack that he'll receive and the armor and... hopefully he can afford it. Armor and Cavaliers really going to need to do some damage. But it's a weird one because if you kill Red's eco, you still can't kill the military because there's another castle going up. This is like Jon Snow, but with economy. Easy, man. I like casting this level. I think we should do it more frequently. Just load up some games around the 2K level. I think players this level don't get enough respect for how good they are. But you can clearly see like, why these guys are around the top 150 in the world. I think realistically they're top 100, like I said before. And there's actually still so much stone income for Red at home And he's going to take Bluestone. So 3 castles currently. Blue is almost in the Imperial Age. Pretty much all you can do if you're Andre is try and get additional stables up. Hope to get Cavalier and Armor. And then raid Red's eco. And the more you raid, the more Red has to pull back to defend. This is a good play. I like this. I think it should have been happening this entire time. This will only get stronger for him once the free upgrade comes in the Imperial Age. Now, if Red was imping, it'd be different. But if he has crossbow and Rattan archers against Cavalier with all those ups, Red could lose his eco advantage, and he could even lose his army, depending on how it goes, so... Still hasn't clicked up? Okay, Andre, you have to get out of here now. You do not want to be anywhere close to these crossbows before the armor. Oh, boy. I think he's panicking because he's worried that Red will imp soon, which I can understand because I would think the same. Another castle! Yeah, it's 30 military versus 60. No, don't fight there. It's okay, he's fine. Once armor's in and Cavalier... Ooh, the castles make it awkward, but this will die. This could die. Should die. 100 can still win this game. As long as he keeps his numbers up. He barely has enough to produce more. He's adding more stables. He has to get more TCs up. Maybe expand over here somehow. Get some stables up right over here. There's so much he could do. So much that has to happen to come back from this wacky situation. Red just didn't macro well enough. 65 on wood and 20 on food. He's adding farms, so that's been the thing. Strikes me as a guy who probably has a hotkey to create bills out of his TCs and doesn't cycle. Those types of players, because I practice that myself, they tend to struggle with putting wood into farms at times. And look at this, guys. I mean, the units can hop inside the castle, so those survive for that reason. But what's to stop the Cavalier from mopping up all the villagers here and then switching right over to this economy? And actually could take out the MTC, if you think about it. The MTC is right here for Red. You should have 0 hesitation now if you're Andre when engaging against the crossbows. 7 attack for the crossbow and 6 pierce armor for the cav. So the crossbow should all die. And the MTC! This is going to be the greatest game the Twitch chat could never react to. Take out the villagers and the town center. Now, you'd assume that the MTC is this one. So maybe he'll just pass it. But if he takes out that MTC, what a play that would be. Still can't deal with the castles. He actually can't even mine stone. Oh, no, he can mine stone so he can get his own castle. No way! Dude! No way! Chat, are you with me? Can you see this? 65%. Oh, it's going to be a buzzer beater. It's going to be so close. Cav are spreading out over here. There's just castle, 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 castle. What a game. And look, Red's repairing that, but I don't think Andre's paying attention to it. So he might end up making it to imp anyways. I mean, it's an understatement to say that this would make a big difference, as another castle will go up. He tosses away the crossbows to get to imp. That's at 394 HP. That's a few hits away from going down. I guess it's worth it to make that sacrifice, but look at the military population now. Andre has more. This is sick. Well, Bracer makes a difference. Rams are now ramming down this castle. And I think that Andre should really just continue to raid. You're going to have a main force here to protect your Rams, but sending small groups of Cavalier and Light Cav into random areas of Red's eco will keep Red on the back foot. And that means Red can't defend these castles. It's 47 military versus 36. What beastly play from Andre. He'll get his first relic now. I love how he's been able to scout and expand to these other areas, getting relics and golds. That has... I mentioned it before. I think these extra resources saved him. Because he could actually build a castle, which, well, he hasn't done yet. And get the gold for additional Cavalier. I think Andre has completed the comeback. I mean, we'll wait and see what Red's economy looks like and how many Rattan archers he can get, but you need a big, massive ranged units, and he stayed in Castle Age for too long. That eco lead was basically 15 villagers on stone all the time. He mines all of this stone, all of his stone at home. And then he was building tons of castles too. There's also a risk that Red is counting on those castles for population space. So as the castles start going down, he might need to build houses. Doesn't have the back of his base secured. This area is kind of getting hit time and time again. Middle area is being lost. What a sick performance from Andre. I know if I was Andre and I played this game, I'd probably think, man, I really wish that someone would have casted that. I don't know him all that well, but if he finds out that thousands of people saw this, he'll be like, oh, I can't wait to see what chat could say. And then Twitch chat completely bugged out, so ripperoni, but at least people will get to see this. This is YouTube worthy here. This is quality game. And again, Andre could lose now. Let's not speak too soon. Red still producing Rattans. They produce pretty quickly. And also denies this castle. What a freaking game. And Red will keep this castle up. And Andre could only... This is unbelievable. Andre could only afford to build this one. Because Red mined all of the stone. There's maybe 200 stone there, and he now can't take it. Andre with 60 farmers, that's enough to get to Hussar spam. But the castle's maybe finally paying off. Seems like he's done everything right, but there's castles everywhere from Red protecting the eco. The thing about Hussar spam, though, is, and he's only on light cav right now, but if you get to Hussar, then at least you're in a comfortable position where, as he loses some farmers over here, you don't need gold. But you have to continue to pressure, because if you stop at any point in time, Red's going to stabilize a bit, and then Red can get into Halberdier, and then Hussar's not going to work for you. Chemistry now coming in for Red. Sick game. Guys, if you're watching on Twitch, Twitch chat is apparently bugged. Chat server seems to be stirring, but no chat yet. Mod view is back, says Ducks. Okay, so apparently everything's coming back. Thank you, Ducks. Rattan Archers, one of the most insane post-Imperial units. Chemistry will be in a second. Thumbring's been in for a while, and look how much damage these things do. And now Andre, he was able to take this land back and expand farming eco in this area, but now he's losing it. So I'd say 20% raid, 80% goes to defend if you're Andre. I'm talking about military numbers. You need to maintain some presence when it comes to raiding. But he's also cycling through TCs to create villas. He's adding farms. If you look at his screen right now, it's probably a lot crazier. Now, I talked about how good Rattans are, but they're not elite. There's a lot of armor upgrades missing. And the light cav and Cavalier get a good little surround here. And if Andre can continue to block with a small group and get in front, we are really seeing the farms pay off now. He could engage and kill these, and that's a gold unit. And Red does not have any relics, and he might have mined through all of his gold. And Andre also switched. This is what I'm talking about. 80% here, 20% here. You don't have to worry about the math. Sorry, Spirit of the Wall. But yeah, you just have to get a small percentage, a small number to another area of the map. I don't know if Spirit calculates things all that well before he goes into fights. Maybe he does. You know, maybe he has to pause and say, let's think about this. T90's wrong. It's actually 22%. There's the panic barracks! And if you're thinking, why didn't Red do this earlier? I don't think he ever had the food eco for it. He's had about 15 to 20 on food, and that's it. He lost his eco. He was rebooming. He's created the villagers, but he doesn't have them working where he needs them to. 130 pop for Andre. That's normally a population that at 58 minutes you think is a crippled eco. But that's an eco that is well ahead of what Red has. Red's at 68 vills. It was just an overextended castle age. We'll talk more about that. But what a beautiful, crazy game here. Yeah, I think now the next step for Andre is clear this. Send fills over, finish the castle, get conscription. So your units will create even faster because he doesn't have that upgrade. And then take that gold. With the gold, you probably just get the Hussar upgrade because that's 600 gold. Like Cav getting trapped in there. Good play. They use the gold for that. You also want to use the gold for Rams. Rams or Trebs. Sick game from Andre. One of the best games I've seen in a while. And from 2K level, it's awesome to see. As someone who's played a lot of these guys, and I play them on a consistent basis, it's cool to be able to cast them too. I don't know who Red is, but I think it's a known player. There's not many players from the UK who could reach this, and this account only has 80 games. And they started playing back in November, so no chance it's just someone new who's been able to rise to this level. I said if they are from the UK, I don't think it's Hallis. It could be T or Sting. And there's the other guy. I'm drawing a blank on his name, but he played in the 2v2 World Cup. Well, if Twitch Chat was here, Twitch Chat could help me. But he played with Hallis, and forgive me, friend, but I forget your name. Is it Recon? Recon, maybe. I think it might be Recon. Pikeman's in. Pikeman's certainly helping out. Not going to hurt. 82 farms for Andre. And now Hussar's on the way, so the raids will be even stronger. I think he should just use his light cav to attack that castle at this point. Trebs will be coming out now. That castle will go down. There's so little in this area of the map except for a relic, so it's not that important, but he's keeping Red pinned into this small area of the map. Yeah, Red strikes me as a guy who uses a lot of, like, the way he was queuing Vills, it was always consistent number of Vills, and it looked like he's using the select all TC hotkey. Okay, now he's deselecting Vills because he realized he queued up too much. Yeah, that's a bad habit I've had because I use that hotkey as well. He sees his Vill count, he sees his pop, so he's going to try and get his pop up. Andre has won this game. Andre just has to apply the finishing blow. And wow! What a sick comeback from Andre. I mean, there's thousands and thousands of things you have to do in every Age of Empires game, especially at the higher level. And so there's always going to be something that you can say someone could have done better. Main thing here being Red could have had more farming eco. But when you have 6 castles, that much military, and you're on top of the opposition, like that normally wins you games. And it was that raiding from Andre, and it was the eco expansion from him, which won him the game. Lost so many precious areas, and it didn't matter anyways. That was beautiful. I think that's something that he could have even started the ball on, or the ball rolling on earlier, too. I talked about it 5 or 10 minutes before he did it, and I felt like his timing was off. But yeah, man, that's crazy. It's just the faster imp with Magyars and the power of Cavalier. I think the 4th town center might have hurt Red. I can see why he did it, so just to analyze this a little more. He added the town center here, I think, to secure the wood line. But when you're going archers and you're creating vills out of 3 TCs, you're banking up food, right? You're still spending food on villagers, but you are banking up food because you're only creating archers, which is wood and gold. You add the 4th TC, that's 25% less food for you going forward because you have, I guess, 25% more production in vills. And I don't know if the 4th TC was necessary there. Maybe the best way to prevent yourself from getting raided is to make sure you're actually pushing Blue's base. He did an awful lot of protecting castles, but not really pushing in when he did get to a large crossbow mass. It's always an awful realization when you get the mass and then you see something arrive at your base and you have to run back for it. It's the worst because you say, oh no, I should have pushed earlier. I might have had more stone. I might have had more wood, more gold. But if he keeps me on the run, there's not much I can do. 99% of the map explored by Andre, and that is a quality game. And chat's dead. But this will be on YouTube at some point, and YouTube, I'll ask you. You are the new Twitch chat. What are your thoughts on me casting this level more? That's my general thought on that. I think that the players at this ELO are still producing amazing games, and possibly seeing different names for you would spice things up. Seeing different strats and just a different level might be good. I'd like to do it more, but I want to know if you guys want to see it more. Thank you for watching, YouTube, since this is now a YouTube video, and I'll see you next time.